we have come to a consensus or a point to understand that we have a country to save. So our wish, you people, that you have selfish interests, mnajificha huku kwa sikiza ground, sijui linda mwananchi, sijui linda ground, we can all come together and save a country that we are burying.
Sawa, nataka kusikia
citizen in the village who is hungry, mwenyana unga, nasema niangalie watoto wangu. So you find that we have two candidates who have good vision, who have a good agenda, and I can still use my friend here. I supported him, but because we came from a community that had no delegates, even some of his people, his supporters at the last minute were bought. They were bought with huge money.
Sure. You come ask us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see,
lunch.
Yeah, most of these young people are not employed, but that mtu wenu is being listed in the people who have stolen money in a certain development in your county that could have employed you. Are you seeing? So if you look at also our system is based on tribe, whereby the governor from certain area will come from the tribe within just that region
with the biggest clan.
Yeah, so we cannot also run away from it, but we can manage it because if you see, recently you saw the
Yes, my good people, manze, welcome back to your stories with STema G. Leo tuko on a round table ama ni rectangular table. Na si kawaida kwa sababu leo niko na wageni na tunataka tuongelee mambo ya siasa. Tumekuwa moto, wengine mshaona kwa hizo episode zingine, wengine ni wageni but watajiintroduce moja by moja ndio tuende kwa topic ya leo. Manze, tunataka tufafanue mambo ya siasa. Mnajua 2027 ndio inakuja na interest ni mengi, visions pia ni tofauti. So tunataka kusikia maoni ya wenye bench. Nyaji?
Niko fiti.
Brian, wewe tumekuwa na wewe before.
Yeah. Mimi ni Brian Kweli. President Kwea. Founder na chair sajili vijana magharibi initiative. Na pia niko kwa DCP party kama political party and a student caucus.
Noma sana.
Yeah.
Wewe ni mgeni, hebu jitambulishe kwa kamera pale watu
wanaonekana.
Thank you so much. My name is Bramwell Lubeho Wanyama. I'm a justice and peace advocate and a mediator. And also I'm in public relations. So I'm happy to be here and to engage in matters, governance, politics and leadership and any other matters that I'm free to dispense my knowledge in regards to my position. Thank you.
Kabisa.
All right. Like I've said, my name is Samson Mudami Collins. I am a young person in this country who is very active in politics. I am an HRB and a civic educator, but also as a young person who believe that the change with the young people we are advocating for, the change we've been looking for, it can only become realistic if we the people will become that change. So I am vying for the seat of member of parliament, Juja constituency. Na mimi ndio Sifuna siku zote one time.
Kabisa. Naona hapo umevalia
Linda mwananchi.
Linda mwananchi.
Na tuko Kadi. Sama kwa Kadi. Je, uko Kadi?
Yes.
Uko Kadi?
Mimi niko Kadi. Niko Kadi for some time, nimekuwa nikipiga kura. Nalisikia pia Brian amesema ako na ile chama yake. Ni chama.
Sisi tunasikiza ground. Unajua hawa Linda mwananchi huyo mwananchi anaishi kwa ground.
So kabla tufike kwa machama,
so tunalinda mwananchi na hao watu wenye wanataka kuwaiba kama hao ground.
Linda mwananchi, iba kwa mwananchi. There's a conversation imekuwa hapo ya civic education, kila mtu amekuwa squeeze. Kuna niko Kadi, kuna sajili, kuna zingine hapo sijui identity something. Watu wa young wamejitokeza sana recently. Kushika kura, kuambia wengine washike kura.
All right.
So mimi tuanzie na wewe kwa kamera. Kuko aje hii initiative ya Niko Kadi?
All right, like I have said here and I want to repeat again, Niko Kadi is a youth-led initiative that was coined or started by one good friend of mine, Ademba. It was just an idea. In fact, we were discussing it when we were here in Uhuru Uhuru Park during the whatever it's called PDF. It was just a casual conversation, and now it came into reality when we converged in Kasarani. That was the very first step or event we held it, and from there now it now grew to a national movement. We went to Kibra, we were in Meru, we went to Kitale, and you have seen it even happening in other parts of the country. We were in Kisumu, we were in Sihaya for Tuko Kadi, and we are simply sensitizing or even mobilizing the young people wakuwe Kadi hama they register as voters, because the change we are looking for, it will not come from the streets. So we have to move from a point of the streets and all that, because we have been there for a moment, and now transform to a ballot revolution.
Kabisa.
And before I give you that space, we do understand that in fact, as the young people, we want to give democracy a chance. Not that we don't understand. Democracy in this country to some point is a scam. The system that we did found ourselves, especially the electorate or the election system, is a scam. There is a very seat, which is a top seat, that we really want someone to vacate. So we do understand election, especially in that top seat, is a scam. But what we're doing, we want to give democracy a chance. So come next year, which is 2027, we will give democracy a chance. Now, if you prove this thing is entirely a scam, then we will come out into the streets and now to lead the Kadi yetu.
Kabisa. Democracy is a scam, eh? Na vile amesema, what do you think na hiyo point? Na what's your participation in mambo ya civic education so far, na how's the turnout?
Okay, I thank you for this golden opportunity. So first I'll say, and let me start with the civic education. I'll encourage young people to take their votes, and also not only young people, but also even those people who have not been voting. The hashtag Niko Kadi is, yes, it's a youth-led initiative, but it's a wake-up call to all Kenyans, even those in diaspora. Just register as a voter, participate in your civic responsibility, and also be part of your country, be part of what's going on in your country. And I would also like to say, it should not only end in taking votes. It should also extend to going to the ballot box, election day, go vote, make sure you follow up, know what's going on. Also, it should also follow up with civic education. The problem we have in our country is a lot of ignorance, whereby people assume that once they've transferred the responsibility to their leaders, now they don't care what's going on. So what you should always do, what I'll advise is, we should follow up and know, the person you elected is your representative. Are they speaking their language? Are they doing what you want them to do? Because you are their bosses. Also, it's also a wake-up call to leaders, so that they should know the citizens, if they are calling themselves the representative of the people, kindly do what the people are telling you to do. If your constituents are telling you, kindly don't do 1, 2, 3, don't vote this bill, or take this bill to the parliament, we are thinking of it this way, this is what we want in our county or in our area, kindly follow up with that. Because you see, it will also not making sense if an MP is saying he's representing people from certain region, being paid and receiving salary and good allowances from Kenyans, but he's not doing what he's supposed to do. It's very uncouth, very bad, and it's a very bad manners. Going to the second question of democracy, I've always looked at governance, especially African and Kenyan governance, from a different type of view. And I think democracy is not what we are being told. Because if democracy is what we are being told, then I think Africa will be the best continent, and Kenya per se will be the most developed country. But I would advocate for a leader who is a positive dictator. A positive dictator is somebody who will dictate the law. This is somebody who will dictate the right thing. I remember I've said positive dictator. So underline.
And that nimeandika.
Exactly. So I'm not mentioning names. I'm not mentioning names, but I'll say this is the type of leader I will vision and the type of leader I would like for this country and per se African countries. Positive dictator is person who will respect the rule of law, person who will use the constitution as a blueprint to guide the nation and also to develop the nation. And also a positive dictator is this one individual who will listen to his people. If his people are telling them to do certain things, they will not go against. We've seen situation whereby the citizens or the people from different countries, especially Kenya, per se, they want certain thing, they think of certain ideas, but their leaders want to force what they want in them. And also, positive dictator is this one leader who will go with what the citizens want. If that's what that's one of the kind of leadership I admire, because these are leaders who are creative and innovative. They don't only think in terms of they don't think of development in terms of just getting interest and amassing wealth. They think of development in terms of 50 years to come, 10 years to come, and also the impact it will create to the people and to the economy of the country at large. So positive dictator, if for as an example, if we could have had a positive dictator, right now we could not be talking about SGR issues that we have right now. We could be having even a speed train, because these are the leaders who could have sat down and foresaw 10 years to come. Now what they could have done is they could have said, we will need a long-term thing, because right now in the next coming years we might need a speed train. So if we could have had good leaders, they could have invested in a speed train instead of so that's kind of leadership I'm visioning. So yes, democracy is there, is what we are being taught, is what is being dispensed there in space, is what we are assuming is happening, but in the real case and on the ground is not democracy.
Kabisa. So I'll come back to you baadaye unipatie example ya where positive dictatorship has worked. But nataka kusikia
kwa coalition yao nani huyo hapo na hiyo positive dictatorship.
Ndio inakuja kwako sasa. Unipatie opinion zako. Democracy is it working? Nataka uniambie, alafu niambie comment yako ya hiyo kitu wanasema ya positive dictatorship. Na pia mambo ya civic education. Niliona wao walisema millennials ndio wafaa kwa nini? Educated.
Unajua, first of all, thank you so much for the opportunity once again. Millennials is like they are fighting with Gen Zs. As Gen Z, we are looking for a better change. And this thing we are fighting was not created by Gen Z. We were born na tukaipata. These things were created by millennials na wale wazazi wetu wao wa kitambo. So wao hawataki we fight this thing tuitoe juu wataona ni kama wanaona ni kama will be sharp and bright than them. Coming to civic education, for me I will speak based on my Sajili initiative. As Sajili, we are doing a mobilization just the same as tuko Kadi. But the only difference is for us, sisi tuko kwa ground usiku na mchana. Tuko Kadi, wao wanatusaidia na rallies. So kusensitize. Wanafanya rallies, at least na create the sensitization. But
kwa ground.
Wakishamaliza rallies, nani wanabaki kwa ground? Sajili. Ule mama mwenye hana pesa ya kufika kwa town penye kuna hiyo rally, sisi watu wa Sajili tunawafikia. Then tunapowafikia, we do civic education, ambapo tunawaambia mama, unajua ukichukua hii unga kila siku ama ukichukua hii unga na ukule mara moja, upe huyu jamaa hiyo kura yako, ni kama umeuza your integrity, umeuza future ya watoto wako na umeuza future yako. So tunaambia our parents na all people in our regions and villages and communities tuache hiyo mindset ya mtu wetu na pesa kidogo, umeona, ama kitu kidogo. So tunawaambia we want a better change, and for this better change to come we have to sweat. And for us to sweat, we have to accept that we won't take any coin from somebody, because we believe nothing goes for nothing. Mimi nikikupea unga lazima unipee kura. Na ukinipea kura, ninauza plot yangu nikapata hiyo unga kukupea, nitarudisha plot zangu na zaidi.
Nenda ninunue zingine.
So we are trying to educate people who are our brothers and sisters and also our parents, at least tukue na hiyo change in that we support vijana. Wakisupport vijana, wewe angalia boma ambayo kijana amepata kazi. Atatake care ya wa siblings, atatake care ya wazazi. Unlike
na community.
Kubwa mwenye ako kwa maybe anafanya kazi. Unapata kama ni mwanaume anaamua kuoa bibi mwingine na sideline familia nyingine. But kama ni kijana at least atatake care ya the entire
kabisa. Umemesha uko DCP. So nataka comment from the DCP perspective. Pia nyinyi mna support your positive dictatorship. Now do you think as DCP democracy is it working?
Democracy in Kenya, what I can say, my brother Collins has said they're looking to build for a better democracy that will work now and beyond. Now that's why sisi chama yetu inaitwa Democracy for the Citizens Party. Already tuko na hiyo democracy. We are exercising the democracy. Hata na invite tunataka kuvai for member of parliament in Juja kuje democracy, tutampea ticket kama young person.
Kwanza kuna vacancy huko Juja.
Ziko mingi. Vacancy ziko
kwa DCP.
Kuna mbunge mwingine
wenu alitoroka.
Ako confused kama mwingine wa Githunguri.
Okay.
So in terms of democracy, for us, democracy is working. The only difference na our Kenyan systems, people don't obey the constitution. Kama unaiona tu kama karatasi. But the moment you have leaders who will obey the constitution, will obey court orders, will obey every bit of the citizens, will listen to the citizens. Kama hao wanalinda mwananchi na sisi tunasikiza ground. Unaona wao wenye wanalinda mwananchi wako na utofauti na wenye wanalinda ground. But ni watu wa familia moja ambao wamekosa. Hao wameamua kwenda kwa mwananchi, hao wengine wanaamua kwenda kwa
ground.
Lakini sisi watu wa linda sikiza ground tuko pamoja na ndugu wetu wa mwananchi. Lakini wao wakilinda mwananchi sisi tunawasikizia ground. Ndio wakikuja kulinda mwananchi already tumesafisha ground kwa sawa. Hawahitaji linda ground. So democracy in Kenya is working. And we as young people, we are looking to elect those young people who will obey the constitution. Shida yenye niko nayo na hawa vijana ni wanasema wanataka kukuja na vijana ambao wana elect young people, but even in school these people do not obey rules. So unashindwa, how are you going to obey the constitution at a national level na hata shule you can't obey. Ukimwambia the school rules inataka uvae hivi anasema that is operation. Sifai kuvaa hivyo, but the same person anataka aende kwa kiti obey the katiba.
Sam. Linda mwananchi. Amko ground?
Atuko ground.
Imesemekana mko ground. Mko kwa rallies.
You see, nikumbusha jina tena. I like mentioning Steve. You see, Steve, Linda Mwananchi is a faction. I mean, which, she has the ideology or the belief of that we need, new systems to govern this country. And like we have said, some of us, when Edwin Sifuna alikuwa anafukuzwa kwa kiti, ilitokea sana kwa mtandao na kila mahali unasikia mtu anajiita mimi ndio Sifuna. So when you hear a young person saying that mimi ndio Sifuna, this doesn't, I mean, it goes beyond the personality or even individual. There are principles, there are ideas, there are beliefs that are held by this personality that millions of Kenya do subscribe to. Now, coming to the thing of Linda Graham, for the record, and I want to be on record saying this. Linda Graham, it's the one that is being led by Oburu and the rest. In fact, it is not Linda Graham. Those people, they're just there to Linda Tumbo. And it has been seen and it's on record. You people, you...
So kuna skiza ground, Linda ground, na Linda Mwananchi.
Ground stroke Tumbo.
Linda ground means Linda Tumbo yako. Because let me tell you this. Because you can't say that when Raila Odinga died, the late Raila Odinga died, aliwahacha kwa gava, I mean the Luo Nyanza and the rest waliacho kwa gava. I mean, we need to come to the point of you speaking for yourself or even for your family. Say that Raila Odinga alikufa akaniacha mimi na familia yangu kwa nini? Kwa gava. Because you can't speak on my behalf. You can't speak on my behalf. That is why we are saying these people calling themselves Linda Graham, they are only there to Linda their interests. They are only there to Linda their stomach. And it is that, and I can frankly say that. You see?
I can support what Colin is saying about Linda Tumbo. Na support Linda Tumbo because sisi
Una support Linda Tumbo?
tunasikiza ground.
Ana msimamo.
Hapana.
Una support Linda?
Nimesema sisi tuna support.
Huyu tunambeba huyu.
Hapana. Nimesema
Tunambeba huyu.
nimesema kuitwa Linda Tumbo, not that I'm with them. Mimi
Huyu
nisikiza
tunabeba
ground.
nakwambia.
Mimi nisikiza ground. Huyu amesema
Tuambie tu.
analinda mwananchi. Sisi tunawaambia sisi tunasikiza ground.
Ground.
Ground
wale
inasema
wanalinda
imefinywa mambo ya ushuru. Ground inasema SHA haifanyi. Ground inasema education funding model imeenda mbaya. Ikishatoka kwa ground inakuwa digested kwa mwananchi. Sasa wanalindwa na hao wananchi. Umeona? The reason nasema hawa Linda Tumbo ama Linda Ground wewe.
Atajitetea.
Part of us. Najua my brother anakashifu DCP lakini it's just a matter of time atatuona tuko meza moja. Sasa kama atatoka ama atabaki. Juu agenda yetu ni moja. One term sisi wote.
See, at the end of the day, we have a country to save because we are burying a country under the weight of corruption. We just lost 1.3 trillion was withdrawn from the national treasury. That is all the control of budget told Kenyans, and there is no evidence how this money has been used. When you look at the space of the freedom of expression, the article 34 of the constitution in this country, unaandika tu katweet kadogo hivyo kwa Twitter, ushakuja unachukuliwa. So that tells you we have a country to save. And you see all this faction, all this Linda whatever and whatever, we have come to a consensus or a point to understand that we have a country to save. So our wish, you people, that you have selfish interests, munajificha huku kwa sikiza ground, sijui linda mwananchi, sijui linda ground, we can all come together and save a country that we are burying.
Sawa, nataka kusikia maoni yako sasa. Wewe uko linda gani?
Mimi at the moment as we speak, my ideas and my thinking aligns with the Linda Mwananchi, how they are pushing the agenda, but I've not taken any stand with any of them. But I support what they are doing. They are doing a very good job. And this is just
don't support what Skiza Ground is doing.
This is just a political fiasco whereby these are two parties or two separate sides with interest. But one thing I can say is if because of what I've been following up, I'm also a politician and I have interest of this country at heart. One day I'll be the president.
Wow.
So if you listen on how the people who are shouting, we are in broad base, who are the most people who are in Linda Ground, if you listen how they speak and what they want, you listen to them saying they want positions, we want deputy president and so on and so on.
Tunataka power.
Sasa wametoka kwa power to respect.
So if
power sasa wanataka respect.
Tunataka respect sasa.
Sasa question pia nilikuwa nataka kuuliza juzi ama maliza kwanza. Wewe tulia kwanza.
So if you see what they want positions, and positions are individual based. You will not hear any of them mentioning about we want hospitals in our region. You will not hear any of them mentioning we want industries, maybe 300 kilometer road or something, or schools or institutions. So this is a wake up call to Kenyans. If you are in the Linda Ground, I think you should question yourself is it the position that is making you happy or the general interest. But if you look at this other party of Linda Mwananchi, they're talking in terms of Kenyans' welfare. They're talking in terms of health. They're talking in terms of roads. They're talking in terms of education and so forth and so on. And if you are a citizen who really care about this country and you are to take side, I will take the side of Linda Mwananchi, because at the end of the day, it's going to benefit a lot of Kenyans, and not like the other position which is pushing more for the position of individuals,
just want to
which might only
Skiza Ground wana push
Linda Ground. You've heard them going around. They've been mentioning about only positions. Yeah, they don't mention about
Skiza Ground, Linda Ground.
Yeah,
niliona Gladys Kwanga alikuwa analia juzi akisema amefinyiliwa kidogo, anaweza join Linda Ground, Linda Mwananchi, alafu tena akanyamaza. So do you think ODM, kwanza hiyo ni sasa ilikuwa a follow up question, ODM itakuwa ODM by 2027?
That is my question.
Okay. One thing I can say is right now, what I can predict is ODM is running on a flat tire. Anytime soon.
Wanatembea na rim.
It might.
ODM Linda ground.
No, let me just put it this straight. ODM at large. All these people are still in ODM. Sifuna is still the SG of ODM, right? And the other people on the other side are still in ODM, right? So you asked a question of ODM at large, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So ODM as a bus or as a train on its own is running on a flat tire. So what might happen in the next 1 kilometer or 200 meters or 1 meter is they might shove to a ditch. Yeah, because you see, how the SG of all the people from the other party, the UDA, are speaking, they are like, why can't you just fold your party and join us? On the other side, the house is already divided. When the house is already divided, we cannot predict the future. Maybe tomorrow they might decide to sort their in-house issues and become one again. What we have seen a situation whereby people abuse each other. People threaten each other, but at the end of the day, you find them working together again. Who never knew that Ruto will work with Raila? Who knew that maybe the president and the other teams will work together? So what I'm saying is, we cannot predict there's higher chances ODM is not going far, but there's also higher chances they might even decide, Gina Sifuna and this other team might decide to come home together and organize their house again, solve their bedroom issues and become a house again. So one thing I can say, I won't say that it will die, but as we speak right now, it's running on a flat tire. Yeah.
So I don't know what Brian thinks.
So before you go, let me ask my brother. You're saying that to reach a point, there's high chance these people can come together and solve their issues at the bedroom. And I want Kolo to respond to this. Sifuna,
so you're asking me then you want Kolo to respond?
No, all of you. Because you are based on ODM. Sifuna is the Secretary General of ODM. Yes. Sifuna is seeing same narrative with us, the DCP people, of one term. Okay. Meaning, if they come together, they will have to go the one term movement. Okay. At the same time, these people under Linda ground, they are looking for positions. Okay. They are looking for their tumbo. Okay. So if they come together, are they going to support one term or they'll come together to support two terms? Okay. And if Sifuna and the faction agrees to come together to support, to resolve their problems and come together and, decide to support two terms, where will be the mwananchi? Okay.
Yeah. No, exactly. Thank you for that question. One thing I can say is, I want you to first, and it's good you be a good listener from today onwards, because it's not good if I repeat myself.
They will come
so this is what I can say is, I've said, just the question was, do you think it will reach 2027? Then my answer was, right now they are running on a flat tire, which means they are having check engine in their dashboard. Anything might happen. When you are driving a faulty machine, you don't know. Anytime it might shut down and you might not die, or it might shut down and all of you might die. So what my point was, we don't know what might happen in the next step. Of which, no, just listen.
What's your prediction?
You don't want the answer.
What's your prediction?
My prediction is there's higher chances. This movement that is running on a flat tire, which is the ODM party at large, it might go into the ditches. That's my prediction. Yes. Because it might, we don't know which ditch listen, it might end up in the forest, it might end up in the river or in the ocean or in the hills. But at the end of the day, my prediction is if it's running on a flat tire, they might end up anywhere. We don't know where it is, but anywhere, and it might not go far to where you've asked, which is the destination is 2027. That's my point. The question you've asked about if these people join, that is now their agenda and their own terms and conditions they will put in place when they are now fixing their houses, because they might decide to fix their houses and decide to go as an independent party and put their presidential candidate there. They might decide even to all of them to join President Ruto, and now we might even be Kenyans versus the political class. We've seen that happen because you saw that 2024 all the leaders were on one side, it was the leaders versus on the other side. Kenyans. Only few individuals stood for Kenyans. Sifuna, Babu, and few they were accountable, So anything can happen. At the end of the day, most of the time, it's always about the Kenyans or the people versus the leaders. So I will not predict for them what they will write in the agreement. That I will be lying to you.
So acha tusikie Collins kama ukijibu Brian pia.
You see, Steve, I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody or someone. People have their own values or principles, and you have seen those who have been progressive. One thing, I do not want to be dumb to the realities of politics in this country. Like my brother has said, there are chances of these political party or people who are differing politically, to come together, and it has happened historically and it is there. So I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody, but I don't foresee a possibility, because some of the leaders, or even the people who behind some of these, Linda Mambo and the leader ground, them, and I can tell you for a fact, there are some people like me. You can't compromise their values. You can't compromise their principles. So about anything, coming together and uniting them, I think it's about it should be used. It should be hacks at individual level. I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody. Yeah.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
Maybe what we can talk.
And again, we are wasting a lot of time discussing matters of leader ground and leader Mwananchi when there are so urgent matters about we as the youth were here.
Yeah, that's my next point now.
Discuss. Yeah.
Yeah, now there's this topic about young people being tribeless, na pia young people doing away with the old system. So is it possible for young people to be tribeless? Are they tribeless?
I think this has been a conversation for quite period of time, and I have a friend of mine called whatever. We were in Citizen TV just a few days ago, and there is this, I think, a question or concern he did raise. Of course, it's not just concern. It seems to believe in this thing. It seems to have this conviction about we do not have a constituency called Gen Z. One thing I want to tell Kenyans and the people that we are here. What constituency? Yeah, that one. When the young people came out into the streets, that is in 2024, like I have said here, there are several things that we didn't speak very boldly, that we are tribeless, that we are partyless, and to some extent, we are called formless. Like I have said, there are ideologies, there are beliefs, there are values that are shared by this constituency called Gen Z.
Gen Z, yeah.
So we can debate on the matters of how this constituency is united, or how strong or how weak this constituency is. But there does exist a constituency of the young people called Gen Z.
There are around 14 or 15 million. What's the population in Kenya?
Yeah, they're more than
even more than
more than
of
that.
course.
Yeah.
Oh,
But in
Because
terms
we
of
have Gen Zs here,
population,
and
not in terms of votes.
in
at
population.
large the youth. Yeah.
Okay. So you work with DCP. So nataka comment yako from that perspective about mambo ya being tribeless, and maybe
Even before we go to the DCP, my brother Colin here was mentioning that the young people, the constraint of young people being tribeless, to me, that's a dream that we wish it can come true. But currently, I think young people are working on a dream whereby one day young people will come together and do away with the old system and vote in new blood, but not in.
but currently you don't think
Currently,
they can't, they are not able to be tribeless.
out of 10,
1 to
out
10.
of 10 young people, you'll find 2 who are tribeless. 8 they're still on tribal
But,
basis. And I can give you examples. If right now you go to university elections, or even
Yeah, but they
any
will
institutional
participate,
election, because I've participated,
There's an impact of
he
tribe.
participated in one and he knows he failed because
Of tribe.
due to this issue.
But
of
patia
tribe.
your story.
Due to issue of tribe. So you find these young people. If there is a Kikuyu, a Luya, a Kisi, and a Luo vying for same position, Kikuyu will rally for their Kikuyus,
What?
Kisi will rally for their Kisis, Luya will rally
In
for
campus
their...
politics.
Yeah, in campus politics.
Okay.
But these are the same young people who are going to vote in 2027. 2027. There is no difference.
Did it play a role in you
voting.
winning?
Yes.
Your tribe it play a
It's
role.
happening in all universities and all institutions.
He
Okay.
did play a role in
You
you
go.
winning.
We'll get there. Okay, roughly, I can say, like I mentioned earlier, out of 10, 2 are tribals or are thinking otherwise.
Okay.
So out among the 10, I benefited from 3 who are tribals. And then the rest, I survived with people from my region. So I still see that even if you look at recently we had elections in multimedia, we had elections, I don't know, in Kenyatta, J-Quad, still people are being supported based on where they're coming from. And these are the same young people who are going to vote in 2027. Another thing why I'm saying that these young people, they're not tribeless, is they're still having issues of taking bribes. They tell you, sisi ni comrades. Comrades ako na njaa, lazima angalia comrade. It's the same, you know, just replacing a comrade and a normal citizen in the village who is hungry. Munyana unga, nasema niangalie watoto wangu. So you find that we have 2 candidates who have good vision, who have a good agenda, and I can still use my friend here. I supported him, but because we came from a community that had no delegates, even some of his people, his supporters, at the last minute were bought. They were bought with huge money.
So kuna issue mbili address walinunuliwa na
so you find that these people at the university, they're young people at the university taking big courses, but still they're being bribed. They are being bought to vote. So you find that these people are going to 2027, but they believe that yes, uko na majenda mzuri, you have a good manifesto, but that manifesto will not help me. I'm looking at how I can buy food, how I can pay rent. So you find that these young people still want to be given something small for them to make decisions. They still want to to support based on somebody mtuwe. But lastly, before you cut me short, when we were doing voters registration, I brought these young people together, and when we were telling them, please register as a voter, some of them, they were being aligned to, if this group of young people are coming from Rift Valley, they're university students, but you find that the Kalenjins in Kwea, they're all for that one term. You find that these tribes, because those coming from Mount Kenya, those coming from Kikuyu, those coming from other regions, Kisii, they are under united opposition. They are one term. So they gather together, they take voters registration as one term movement. But this one, wherever
2 term.
Yeah, these others are 2 term. But you will not find. I did not find all these young people coming together and to say.
Young people.
And you know what? Let me surprise you. These people or the Kalenjin comrades who are crying that and supporting 2 term, they are taking votes saying mtu wetu lazima arudi kwa kiti. Some of them their help had not been dispersed. As you come up to now imeenda huko. Some of them they cry that when they get sick, they can't be treated in hospitals because hakuna enough medicine and equipment. But there are still people crying of mtu wetu lazima arudi.
So young people are divided
on a big problem with our young people, and how I wish out of the 2% we can push to 5% for the better generation.
What's your experience?
You see, I'll talk about tribalism, the experience on my political. I think we shall create just space for that. So that we'll do something on that. So this is what I can say about tribe and tribalism per se in the bigger angle. Tribe is under culture. This is part of us. We come from different tribe, and we cannot run away from it. But what we can do is to manage it. So that this tribe should not control us. And this is one thing I can say. You see, tribe is just like religion. It's just like education. It's just like
it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, But now the problem is when we become tribalistic. It's just like religion. We become religious extremist. You are now a dangerous person. To an extent, you cannot question injustice. Whereby you see a situation whereby Muslim and Christian fight. That's now being religious extremist. Now, the same as tribe, when it's come to tribe, it's true. Young people are tribal. I cannot dispute that. But also, I'll also say it's not all of them. And especially those who are still ignorant are the ones who are still tribal.
1 out of 10?
1 out of 10, I'll give 4-6. Ratio of 4 to 6. 6 are tribal, 4 are at least now know the other side. The reason I'm telling you this is I've worked with people from different tribe who are genuine. And even the way they think, the way they do their things is totally different. I'll agree with what Brian has said. In campus politics, there's a lot of tribal. And there's a lot of tribal issues and fiasco and drama and tribalism. But one thing I can say is, before you say it's mtu wetu, ask yourself, is he ethical? Because we've seen a situation whereby you tell us mtu wetu, and then you come ask us for transport.
Sure.
You come ask us for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see,
lunch.
Yeah, most of these young people are not employed, but that mtu wenu is being listed in the people who have stolen money in a certain development in your county that could have employed you. Are you seeing? So if you look at also our system is based on tribe, whereby the governor from certain area will come from the tribe within just that region. With
the biggest clan.
Yeah, so we cannot also run away from it, but we can manage it. Because if you see, recently you saw the committee for accounting committee where the Kinasifuna are and Kinachiragei. Some governors could not explain how they spent money in their counties. The same governor, if you narrow down, they are from the same tribe as the people they are stealing from, or the people they cannot be accountable for. So if you look at this issue of tribalism and from a broader angle, I will just say, and I will advise Kenyans to listen to me kindly. As you are shouting mtu wetu and this tribalism is getting into your head, you are going to fight your neighbor because he's speaking different language. You are going to steal from the other person because he's invested in your area and is from another tribe, and all these things you are doing. Kindly rethink about them. You and these people who are terrorists, there's no difference. So kindly manage your tribe and let's work together. At the end of the day, we are all Kenyans. If it works for all of us. If this country fails, it fails for all of us. But it's true, young people are tribalistic, and a good number of them are too tribalistic, and even the people who are being given the goons and so and so. Yeah, so they are tribalistic and they are young people. So let's reconsider that, and I'll advise young people to kindly think outside. We are grown-up people. Let's think differently. Let's work differently. If you want change, let it begin with you.
Yeah, before nienda to the next point, nataka kusikia Sam, now that wewe unasimama Juja. Na Juja is percentage mingi ni cosmopolitan, watu wametoka mbali wakakuja.
For sure.
What's your view on this tribeless thing?
Okay, that is what I want to give my perspective on. You see, Steve, one thing is that let us not pretend not to understand the realities of politics in this country. And in as much as the young people, we want to redefine this game, or we want to change this game, we can't distance ourselves from this game or from this politics. Now, it is so selfish of us to use a lot of energy castigating, discouraging these young people by just calling them tribalist. One thing we should agree that we are coming from a point. Vile vijana wako leo, si vile walikuwa 2025, it's not the same way we were in 2024. So there is a point we're coming from. And I wish, let us not use much of our energy, much of our times discouraging, castigating, and belittling, undermining what these young people can do. There are a significant percentage of the young people who want the best for their country. Now, some of these realities you're seeing here, like he's talking of the young people being very tribal, and he has a very good example of the university politics. These realities are there, but we are saying that don't pretend or be dumb to some of these realities. You have to accept these things are there. Na juu tunataka kubadilisha hii kitu, let us not be so obsessed with discouraging, obsessed with belittling, obsessed with all this negative energy towards these young people. You are a young person. I am a young person. You are a young person. And we want the best for our country. We are burying this country. Many of people may not understand this, but someone who is actively and who is concerned about the matters of Kenya knows what I'm talking about. I think we need to shift to positivity.
So you are encouraging, you are staying positive. There's gradual progress towards young people being active in politics. And now maybe that can push us to the next conversation. There's a wish to have a young president. You mentioned there's a wish. So naweza taka discuss your points na how far is it based on this other conversation.
Okay, me one thing I say, the system that we already have is a broken system. It's a very bad system, a system that do aways and eliminates good people and accommodates and really motivates bad people. And this can be if you are a real Kenyan and you follow what's happening in your country. I think I don't need to explain that far. Another thing I'll say, we have a deep moral decay in our society today, whereby our leaders take advantage of people's ignorance. So what happens is, especially in the village setup or in the rural areas, most of these people, I'm not attacking them, or I'm not pointing them in a bad way, but most of these people, they rarely. Most of our grandmothers are the people who are there, and most of the people who we left there because they didn't get the opportunity to maybe move to certain positions. I'm not saying the villages, but me, I love village. I'm a village person. But you see, most of these people, they don't take their time. They don't take their time to think critically, to meditate, and to read deeply, and to search about what is happening and what's going on. If you see how the finance bill push started, is the people who are in the urban setup are the one who pushed for it. By the time these updates get to the village, most of the time they are behind. So most politicians take advantage of this. Now, when it's come to the desire of having a young leader, I will not say it that we want a young leader per se, but we just want a good leader. That's all that we need in this country. Whether he's 800 years old, whether he's 35 years old, we just want a good leader, a leader who will make sure that the Kenya is safe for everybody, for both Kenyans and foreigners. A leader who will make sure that any development being done in this country is for the good, is for the common good. A leader who will make sure that we have ethical investment. A leader who will make sure that there's education, there's good health, there's a good network, in infrastructure, innovation, technology. All these things are incorporated together. That's we want just a good leader, nothing else. Because even if you see, if we put a young leader and his corrupt leader, we still not have solved our
like issue. I have said, you're not going to elect
because I've told you about the moral decay. And this moral decay is too deep to an extent we even inherit it. If you see what we've just discussed recently about tribalism, most of these things are inherited. How the young people are doing their politics in campus and how they are seeing their leaders doing their politics is just the same. Even in campus we have goons. Even in campus we have tribal. So the moral decay, so this the moral decay I'm talking about is not a matter of how old this leader is, the skin color of this leader, the tribe is coming from, or the gender,
or the age.
It's a matter of just being an ethical leader. Just follow the constitution. What is wrong if we just invest in, if we don't steal money? Let's just say one day we just try that day.
What do you think? Do you,
for me,
young lead presidents, good presidents?
For me, my take would be, we don't need, it's not a matter of a young person or an old person being president. It's about us, first of all, we have a problem with the people we elect whereby they lack integrity. The moment you lack integrity, you can be a young person, but when you're easy, because some of these young people, they steal university examination, meaning they just have stealing mindset. So when they go there, they will steal. Then we also have some of the young people when they have never seen a billion shilling. So when they go there to the State House and they see,
even me, I've never seen a billion.
The account, the Kenyan account is in trillion. So for me, I think we should move away from electing people who have integrity issues, whereby you find that somebody, we know that this person, one, he's illiterate, he has no academic paper, he has been groomed as a thief, he has stolen to all the position he has held, but we are still going for this person. Then another thing, for me, I think that we have a problem with the political parties, and that is something that is also killing us, whereby when we elect people from political party X, they will still sing to the tune of their party leader. When we elect people from political party Y, they will still sing the tune of their party leader. So I think we should at least mix these people, do away with voting under waves, whereby we can have leaders from this political party, also others from this
vote
political
individual,
party,
not party.
so that it becomes difficult for even who is the president to buy people from these political parties and also buy these people from these political parties. Then I think also the system and also the parliament. There is a problem with our parliament, whereby most of these people, when they are looking for elections, they go with the name of Naenda kutetea mwananchi, I'm after mwananchi. But when they reach there, they sing master.
Wanachotewa kwa kitu.
This bill, mkubwa itapita, mkubwa anarusha chai. So at least, and they have, because they are the people who make laws. So they have the laws they make, mostly they protect them, so that after you elect Colin for 5 years as a MP, you go and forget about it. They will not be able to
forget about us.
I just get.
I'm not saying you forget us. This is just an example, as a case study. So by this,
I don't use me as a case study.
So you find that these members of parliament, we don't
use
have
Brian as a case study.
Okay, the current members of parliament.
Okay, yeah.
They have messed us with everything. The bills they are making, you can't remove them from. At least a governor can be impeached, but you can't remove an MP from that position.
But you can recall.
You can recall, but it's not possible.
It's not possible. It is frustrating.
You can recall, but the process is so frustrating. You can't do it. Then these members of parliament, they're not answerable to anybody who is doing their oversight. You find that these members of parliament, they spend allocation of billions and billions of CDF, but mtu anatumia tu venye anataka. You find that after 5 years they have bought hotels, they have bought hospitals, they come up with hospitals, but this money every day was meant to spend for development for mwananchi in a particular constituency, but because these people, they have no body that can carry out oversight. So we should start by putting this MPs in check, coming out with laws that if you mess with a particular thing, we remove you.
But they're talking about CDF. I've been thinking, why can't we just take
Twende na
money
order jamani.
that is going for the education
Let me
and put it in one education fund? I'm just asking in general, talking about education, because Brian has mentioned about CDF. I was thinking, why can't these people just put this money, because CDF most of the time goes for education, right? And a few three other things. Why can't that money meant for education just be channeled to the Ministry of Education, and we sample out how many students we have in?
You don't get your bursary.
I'm just trying to
that can be done, but after we have fought two major things. One, having leaders with integrity, and two, fighting corruption. Because when we put all that money into one ministry, CS for education will eat everything. If we have somebody with integrity, you will eat everything. So to me, it's not about we can have a young person being the president, but to me, it's not about the age of who is the president. It's about counterattacking the way parliament operates. Voting these leaders not based on political parties, tribe and waves, but based on what somebody can deliver. Colin can be a good candidate, but because he comes from a small tribe, you'll find that he won't be elected. But he has good ideas. He can build roads. He can help education people, students to go to school and pay school fees. But you find that a crook who is known for stealing land because he's supporting is from this clan or this tribe, you'll get the majority votes. So it's about one, fighting for the system, having leaders of integrity, and putting our members of parliament to check, and avoid electing people who are going to sing the song of their choir master, who's the party leader.
Collins.
I want to cement what has been said here. You see, all these things, they trickle down to the kind of system that we have been subjected to. When you look at the crop of electorate that we have in this country, that crop of electorate is illogical, irrational. They are used to the kind of politics is being said there, the tribal politics. If you don't come to them speaking their language, nipe unga, nipe iyo 200, then I am not your guest. Then that trickles down to the system that we have been subjected to. And it's a challenge not to just us that we are speaking here. It's a challenge to the people of Kenya that wish the best for this country. That if we overhaul this system, the system of governance, the system of accountability, all the kind of system that we have in this country, then best for us. To the question of a young president.
Yep.
You see, like we have said, and I think I've said it here, you're not going to elect us by the virtue of being the young people or Gen Z. Because if it goes to that direction, they have said it here. You know, some of us here, like it has said, corruption is in our DNA, is in our DNA. So you're not going to vote for us, or we are not going to vote for a president because he's a young person. He's a young person. Let that president present to us his legacy. What has he done? Let him present to the people of Kenya his manifesto, not just manifestos. How consistent have you been? Because it has been said here. William Ruto was a human rights defender like us. The things that we are saying there, these characters and groups we have in government, they have been speaking this language. And we can't be different from them. So it is not about the kind of president, I mean the age or even, you know, when ni mdogo ama when ni mkubwa that we are going to elect you because you are principled. We are going to elect you because we have values that we do subscribe to, that we have seen from you. You have shown us your legacy, what you've done in office, and how progressive you have been. You see, I want to continue with this about the issue of, I think it has been said about the national bursary, yes. You see, I want to contribute something on that. You see, like they have said, tuko na bursaries mingi hapa. We have the bursary ya executive, tuko na bursary ya senator, tuko na bursary ya governor, tuko na bursary ya senators. You can name them. You can name them. You can name them.
Senator na bursary.
It's okay. They are there. They are there. Why did this thing called affirmative gov? What is that? So kwa human pia iko. Now you see, these things are there. Na ukiziangalia hii ni uchafu mingi sana. So the thing is, these all bursaries, they can be consolidating to make education, not just education. This thing is happening in every sector of this country, affordable, because they are creating loopholes for corruption. You see? Yes.
Just make
sawa, tukimalizia Brian sasa, nataka tupatie close, ukimjibu pia utupatie your closing remarks.
Okay, for me what I can say is one thing about this country is our politicians still believe that we have a problem with churches. You find that they come together, contribute millions to build a church, you know, to roof a church. Churches are from this position to this position to this place. But they forget that the problem we are having as young people or as citizens are schools, are hospitals, are industries. So how I wish that the leaders we elect today, tomorrow and forever could use same energy and mindset. Let's say they come to a particular county, the way they are doing their politics. They say, today we are fundraising for Mheshimiwa Collins. We want Mheshimiwa Collins to build 2 industries in his constituency, to build churches and schools in his constituency, and also hospital. They fundraise all that money. We get hospitals, we get industries, we get schools. At the end of 5 years, we find that we have so many schools and people can afford the education. We have so many hospitals, we have industries where people can go and get employment. So at least we should come out from the mindset of having that we have a problem with religion. I can be in this house and pray for myself and with my family, but I cannot come to this building of my house and treat myself or seek education or have an industry in my house. But Kenya is rich. Let us elect leaders who will think otherwise. Who will stop using religion as a way of dividing people. Who will use tribalism as a way of dividing people, so that we get new blood and leaders who can reason. So
Asante
I
sana.
think that's what I can say.
Your close remarks.
Okay, my closing
The
remarks
president's
are simple. First, they are on the basis of the state of the nation right now. Young people, kindly register as voters. One, make sure you go. If you don't have ID and you're already 18 years old, go take your ID. Another thing, after you've taken your ID, make sure you have a voter's card, which means you must go to the nearest IBC center or office or wherever they are under that street, go take that vote. The next thing is make sure on the election day, you go and vote. Don't just vote mtu wenu. Don't vote your neighbor. Don't vote the person who looks like you. Vote an ethical leader. You are an intelligent person, you can reason, you can think. Vote in an intelligent person. After voting, make sure you protect your vote. After protecting your vote, make sure you follow up with your leaders, what they said, what they are supposed to do, and make sure you keep them on toes, not them coming and disappearing in Nairobi and coming back when they want to. So make sure you are a good citizen of this nation. And lastly, make sure you do anything you can to survive, because at the end of the day also the system is not favoring anybody. So do whatever you can, but a positive thing. Don't go and start beating people, and especially, and this also lastly, as I'm closing up, the people who are being paid as goons. The people who are being paid as goons. You are doing that, because you want to give us excuse. There's no employment and so many excuses. But you are the same people. The person who is paying you is saying there's work in affordable housing. Why can't that person pay you to go and work, give you a job in affordable housing? As you are being paid to beat person A, B, C, D. Remember, the person you are being paid to beat is only speaking for you, so that tomorrow you should not be paid 1,000 bob to beat people. You should be paid 30,000 with pensionable and a permanent and pensionable job, or a good job to take care of you and your family. So take care, and as you are going to beat people, may God protect you, because things may turn the other way. Thank you.
Sam?
All right, thank you. Before I give my closing remarks, I think we are transforming from having politicians to not having leaders. Because you see, a politician and a leader, those are two, different professions. When you are in politics of interest, you thrive in politics of perception. So as we are pushing forward, we are transforming from having politicians, from electing politicians to electing leaders. Now to the young people, like it has been. We have a country to protect. And if I have to reference this, we are burying this country under the weight of corruption that is happening there. Just some few months ago, the Auditor General revealed to Kenyans that, he flagged a 50 billion share ripoff. This is where an individual was done an open surgery 4 times in a day. And this is where a mother gave birth 10 times in a year. Now, we have seen a scenario where when you are the head of the state, instead of being a patron of all the referral and the national hospital we have in this country, you want to be a patron of an hospital, the Nairobi hospital, because that hospital it's making billions in a month. I'm referencing them for reasons. When you look at the kind of spending, the budget that is happening in State House, it's diabolical. Now, for the financial year 2025-2026, William Ruto was given a budget of 8.7 billion. Now, in 7 months, he had received all that funds, and the waterfall is overspent by 2.7 billion. And now he sent his controller to the National Assembly to ask for extra 4 billion. When you look at how things are being done, we are just selling our sovereignty, our identity as a country. Just the other day, we had the brother to that RSF warlord that was given Kenyan passport. So please, enda chukua Kadi. Ukichukua Kadi, we are saying the next step is to protect that Kadi. Na kuprotect that Kadi includes sisi kukaa kwa hiyo polling station tulinde hiyo Kadi. Thank you, and Ruto must go.
Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Till next time. That's our time for today.